we're going to talk about this little scene that took place after the Fever game last night in New York between Sandy Brondello and Caitlin Clark, the New York Liberty, and the agent. The agent. That is what makes this so interesting.
Whispers are spreading like wildfire across the hoops universe, and it all started with a fleeting tunnel encounter that nobody could have predicted would light up every headline in women's basketball. What was supposed to be just another night at Barclays Center turned into an instant saga. Caitlin Clark, still tied to the Indiana Fever, was caught in a private, almost secretive huddle alongside New York Liberty Titans Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello in the mix. The photo snapped backstage looked less like post-game small talk and more like a war council between empires. Suddenly, every insider and outsider is scrambling for answers, decoding body language, and theorizing if the biggest name in the league is plotting a seismic move that would shake up the WNBA forever.
Caitlin Clark to the New York Liberty? Confirmed? You guys? The photo circulating went viral of Caitlin Clark in the bowels of the Barclays Center with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and Breanna Stewart and Sabrina.
This wasn't some casual, friendly banter you see after games. Right in the thick of this meeting, Clark's own agent, Aaron Caney, was visibly involved, and that took the stakes through the roof. Agents don't hang around for chit-chat. This instantly fueled the wildest speculation. Was this the first public sign that Clark, the most bankable star in women's hoops, is laying the groundwork for a blockbuster exit from Indiana? Fans are in meltdown mode on every platform, dissecting blurry video clips and fan-shot photos, desperate to figure out if Clark is already eyeing a new chapter. Is Indiana about to lose their franchise player to the league's rising superpower?
A WNBA team that have been very, very, very much in, they made it clear that they want Caitlin Clark, or they're eventually going to want Caitlin Clark. Along those lines, they made it very, very clear. And that team is the New York Liberty. And today, we have just seen the New York Liberty players, after the game, meeting up with Caitlin Clark. It is Stewie, it is Sabrina Ionescu, there is Sandy Brondello. And by the way, Stewie is not leaving New York the rest of her career. That is one thing that I will be 199.
What happened in Brooklyn after the Liberty's crushing 98-77 takedown of the Fever wasn't just post-game business as usual. Clark didn't even suit up that night. Her lingering groin injury kept her sidelined, but she still traveled with the team to New York, which already set tongues wagging. But then the real fireworks started in the tunnel. Clark and her agent caught on camera, deep in conversation with Brondello, Stewart, and Ionescu. The optics were electric, the timing suspicious, and before the night was over, Clark to Liberty was trending everywhere. Was this a glimpse into the future of the WNBA, or just an innocent conversation blown wildly out of proportion? One thing was clear. Whatever went down in that tunnel was about to set off the most dramatic free agency rumor cycle the league has ever seen.
Many people is insinuating that Caitlin Clark could be trying to plan the outs of Indiana. Yes. People is already saying that Caitlin Clark could be trying to get the hell out of Indiana.
But let's get real. This wasn't some accidental run-in in a crowded hallway. Multiple eyewitnesses said Clark, her agent Aaron Caney, and the Liberty's power trio huddled together in a spot just out of public view, as if purposely dodging the media scrum. This meeting didn't have the energy of two teams exchanging good game pleasantries. It had the unmistakable vibe of a chess match. For Clark, still technically out with injury, to attend the road trip in street clothes and then dive straight into a deep conversation with New York's head coach and superstars, That's the kind of move that gets GMS sweating. Fans instantly started connecting dots. Remember, Caney doesn't just rep Clark. He's known for orchestrating high-profile moves in both the WNBA and NBA. It didn't take long before the phrase "future dynasty talks" started popping up on message boards. Was this a back-channel recruitment pitch? Or was it a chance for Clark and her camp to feel out a franchise where stars are actually prioritized?
This is how it starts in sports. This is how it starts in the NFL. This is how it starts in the NBA. When you start seeing the wheels in motion, there's signs. There's signs before eventually a player gets traded. A player eventually marks their next destination. The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is happening.
It didn't take long for social media to blow up. A single photo of Clark grinning with Stewart and Ionescu got millions of views in hours. Theories ran wild. Was this a recruiting trip? Was Clark seeking advice on navigating a high-pressure market? Or, as some Fever loyalists fear, is their hero quietly setting the stage for an exit that would leave Indiana reeling? For Clark's biggest fans, seeing her genuinely at ease with the Liberty's inner circle offered a spark of hope she could finally play in an environment that nurtures superstars rather than clipping their wings. But for Indiana's front office, it must have felt like a bad omen, one of those moments where you realize you might be losing grip on something priceless. Suddenly, what looked like harmless networking turned into a full-blown storyline about legacy, loyalty, and the future of the league.
New York Liberty sent the blitz. Sandy, Sab, and Stewart are all talking to Caitlin Clark in the tunnel. So my guess is this right here happened at the conclusion of the game. This, my friends, is currently going viral all over social media right now. That is Caitlin Clark immediately after the game. Now, what's crazy is that her team lost the damn game, but Caitlin is all smiles. She's all smiles.
Meanwhile, the situation in Indiana is getting harder to defend by the week. Remember, the Fever roared into 2025 with big promises. Now You Know was the campaign, and fans were told to expect a new era. They brought in seasoned veterans like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard, hoping that mix of experience would turn Clark's rookie magic into playoff reality. Instead, the season's been a patchwork of missed opportunities. Clark has already missed 11 games with injuries, while the team's record keeps swinging between hope and heartbreak. Some nights, the Fever look like they can beat anyone. Other nights, they're limping off the court, outclassed by teams with half their talent. Injuries, inconsistent lineups, and an unclear team identity have turned what was supposed to be Clark's coronation into a season of what-ifs. Even when Clark's healthy, the system seems to stifle her strengths, leaving fans and analysts alike wondering if Indiana really knows what they have, or if they're fumbling a generational opportunity.
I say, imagine getting on national TV, being paid by ESPN, paid by CBS, and have the nerve to look at the viewing public, lie to them, and say the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. I'm curious, are those same people going to be on TV this evening, tomorrow morning? Are they going to look in the camera and double down on the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin?
Behind closed doors, league insiders have started whispering what fans are screaming online. Indiana has never quite figured out how to handle Caitlin Clark. The misstep started before she even stepped onto the court. The infamous WNBA fan investigation painted Indiana's own supporters as troublemakers, a tone-deaf move for a city that single-handedly revived league attendance. Instead of harnessing the wave of energy Clark brought to the Fever, the organization seems to have spent more time policing celebrations and scrutinizing crowd behavior than building a real culture around its superstar. Even more baffling, Coach Stephanie White seems hell-bent on squeezing Clark into her existing playbook, ignoring the fact that you don't just fit a once-in-a-generation player into a system, you build the system around her. NBA teams have learned this the hard way, but in Indiana, it's as if they're running a team-building seminar while their golden ticket sits unused. What's worse, every time Clark's minutes are limited or her creative spark is stifled, you can see the tension on her face. The league, and especially the Fever, might be learning the most painful lesson of all. Superstars don't wait forever.
People is insinuating. They're insinuating that Caitlin Clark could be trying to get the hell out of Indy. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. Your boy John Liquidator I definitely want her to get out of Indy, bro. And it's this photo right here that is really heating up. I mean, this one right here is really breaking the bank, bro. Look, Sandy Brondello got her hand all on Caitlin, bro.
Now stack that dysfunction up against what's brewing in New York, and the contrast is brutal. The Liberty aren't just good, they're a living blueprint for how to run a modern sports franchise. After all, this is the team that just hoisted the WNBA trophy, and they're not slowing down. With Breanna Stewart, the MVP machine, Sabrina Ionescu, a three-point legend in the making, and Jonquel Jones, an all-world defender and scorer, New York has assembled a core that feels almost unfair. Sandy Brondello, their head coach, is the secret weapon. 2 rings, years of playoff experience, and a reputation for adapting her playbook to get the absolute most from her superstars. The front office has loaded up on versatile role players and international standouts, so the rotation runs deep. Natasha Cloud brings leadership and grit, Maureen Johannes brings international swagger, and everyone in the building knows their role. The result? A culture where every star can shine, where every backup can step up, and where the bar is set at dynasty, not just playoffs. For Clark, who's been stuck in Indiana's grind, it's like looking through a window at the life she could have had. A team that celebrates creativity, pushes pace, and plays in the brightest spotlight the league can offer.
But the Liberty have shown her love. We've seen that as a bit of a theme. There was the moment between Stewie and Clark when Clark came back from injury the first time. And then there were some nice words. I missed the moment myself of them posted up there for a second. But there were some nice words from Liberty coach Sandy Brondello that I did capture. And I thought they were...
So imagine the possibilities. Caitlin Clark as the floor general in Brooklyn, setting the tempo for Stewart and Ionescu on every possession. The offensive firepower would be outrageous. Defenses would be forced to guard the entire arc, leaving endless space for Stewart to slash, Ionescu to bomb away, and Clark to weave magic with the ball in her hands. The Liberty's ownership, Clara Wu Tsai and Joe Tsai, have made it clear they're playing the long game, investing in state-of-the-art training facilities, hiring top analytics minds, and building a brand that's as big off the court as it is on it. The atmosphere at Barclays Center is pure spectacle. Packed crowds, lights, music, celebrities in the front row, the kind of energy that's intoxicating for players and irresistible for the media. For Clark, it's not just about the basketball, it's about building a legacy on the game's biggest stage, in the country's biggest city, alongside teammates who know how to win, and an organization that refuses to settle for anything less than greatness. If she were to make the jump, it would send shockwaves through the league, raise the bar for every franchise, and force Indiana to reckon with what they'd lost.
I think there is a 50-50 chance Caitlin Clark leaves Indiana after her rookie season. No, after rookie contract is up. Because I have a feeling that with all the restricted free agency and everything, I think they're going to try to get rid of all coring out of the CBA. I don't think coring is going to be a thing. I don't think coring is going to be a thing in the CBA. And obviously, look, you're going to have to core players, and they're going to have to core Aaliyah a year earlier than Caitlin. And if they're scared Aaliyah's going to leave, and if they're like, oh, we want to core and trade Caitlin, then Aaliyah leaves for nothing, and Caitlin leaves for nothing. So it's a bit of a weird one.
It's no exaggeration. The entire league office is sweating at the mere thought of Caitlin Clark making her escape to the Liberty. WNBA brass have spent years preaching competitive balance, worried that a single super team could kill parity and make the league predictable. But if Clark joins forces with Stewart and Ionescu in New York, you're not just looking at a favorite, you're staring down the next basketball juggernaut. Analysts are already saying it. This would be the most lopsided collection of talent in modern WNBA history. Clark just wrapped her rookie season as an assist queen and a top scorer, all while getting double-teamed nightly. Stewart is a proven champion and former MVP who dominates both ends of the floor, and Ionescu is a three-point assassin rewriting the record books. If this trio happens, you may as well pencil them in for a finals berth every year. Yet, here's the irony. The WNBA might secretly want this. The ratings would go nuclear. Every Liberty game would be a headline event. Networks would pay more. Merch would fly off shelves. Sometimes, a villain super team is the very thing a league needs to break through into true mainstream conversation. It's risky, but the reward, it's game-changing.
It's a weird situation, but you can see, and this is one of the more important things. You see this right here? You see this right here? This is Caitlin's agent. This is Caitlin Clark's agent. So Caitlin Clark's agent is involved in, meeting up with, or in this meeting, whatever it is, whether it's a meeting or just a chat. Caitlin's agent is there. That's her freaking agent. Looks like it. CC to Liberty, CC to New York.
Let's talk real talk about the Clark-Stephanie White dynamic, because the media's all sunshine spin doesn't match what you see on the court. White keeps talking about fitting Clark into her system, as if you can just plug a generational talent into a generic playbook and expect magic. But every serious coach knows when you have a unicorn like Clark, you build around her, not try to make her play like everyone else. White's philosophy, lots of ball movement, everyone shares the spotlight, nobody gets special treatment. Sounds good on paper, but it's not what makes Clark special. She thrives with the ball in her hands, dictating tempo, running the show. Meanwhile, look at Liberty coach Sandy Brondello. She spent years working with legends like Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner, crafting her entire system to maximize stars. Brondello's mantra is simple: let your alphas lead. That's why stars love playing for her. With Clark, it's clear she needs freedom, not fences. A team that unleashes her, not one that tries to manage her confidence.
If Stephanie White believes that this team is better with Ari McDonald in, blah, 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 if she shares the same views as Carolyn Peck, you fire her on the spot. I don't care if she is an Indiana Fever alum. You fire her on the spot. And anybody else in the organization that shares that same belief set. I mean, these Stephanie White truthers, no surprise, she checks boxes. And they're the old WNBA fandom that thinks Stephanie White's getting a raw deal right now. It's so obvious she don't know what she's doing. She don't know what she's doing with this kind of...
The social explosion after Clark's meeting with the Liberty's top brass was instant and unmissable. Fever fans erupted with panic and disbelief, terrified at the thought of their hero slipping away. Liberty fans, meanwhile, could barely contain the hype, already imagining parade routes and championship banners hanging from Barclays Center rafters. Social media lit up. Speculation, memes, wild theories, even fake jersey swaps. Basketball insiders started writing columns about the end of competitive balance and the New York super team era. But under all the noise, one truth stood out. This was a clash of organizational philosophies. In Indiana, Clark has been forced to fit a coach's system, asked to blend in, manage her stardom, and mute her supernova to fit in. In New York, she'd step into a culture that wants her to take over, to be the story, to push the league's evolution. The Liberty's coaching staff, led by championship winner Sandy Brondello, is built for stars. They adapt systems around generational talent. With Clark at the helm, they'd unleash a style of play the league's never seen. If this move happens, it won't just be a transfer. It'll be a tidal wave that forever changes what's possible for women's basketball. If Clark's future really is up for grabs, the WNBA is on the verge of a new era, one where the biggest city and the brightest star finally collide.